I adore Gordon Ramsay. There, I said it and I'll say it again. I used to be terrified of him when I watched Hell's Kitchen as a kid, but I soon came around when I realized that he's actually quite the softie inside. That might be one of my favorite types of people, honestly, someone with a grizzled exterior but teddy bear stuffing inside. Sweet and savory, am I right? Kitchen Nightmares aired on Fox from 2007 to 2014. The premise? Gordon Ramsay travels to failing restaurants across America that clearly need his help. What could go wrong?
I am going to really hurt somebody if they send back my cakes.
Now, if there's anything that I've learned about Gordon Ramsay over the last 20 or so years, it's that he has his idiosyncrasies. Aside from yelling his creative insults and calling people donkeys, here's a small list I've compiled of his favorite things to do. Showing off how cool he is. Wearing leather jackets. Showing off his body. Doing that thing with his hand. And rest assured, he does all of those things in today's episode. But before we get into it, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and maybe, just maybe, do that bell thing so you get notified about my videos going forward. My goal is to have at least 200 subscribers by the end of the month, and I would love it if you came along for the ride. So anyway, Gordon rides into town on his motorcycle, ready to help the old stone mill in Tuckahoe, New York. There's a few obvious jokes I could make here about that town name, but I will behave myself. You're welcome, Mom. The old stone mill was, as you might expect from the name, an old stone mill that owner Dean converted into a restaurant himself. He put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into DIYing the space, and it really shows. Like, it's actually remarkable how not disgusting the restaurant is. Usually on shows like this, there's a lot of nasty-ass stuff going on behind the scenes, but this place is in really nice shape. And that's Gordon's biggest concern going into it. If it's so nice looking, then why aren't people going? Well, there's a couple problems. For one, Dean is afraid of changing things up too much because he's already $500,000 in the hole and losing money by the week. For another, his head chef, and the hero of the episode if you ask me, Mike, is incredibly burned out and he's lost his passion for cooking.
Do I still have passion for food? No. And it shows.
If I may, the whole staff here feels like they belong on a sitcom about a struggling restaurant. We've got Sean Astin, who could play the general manager, the Long Island medium serving as a hostess, Joe Montana in the kitchen, and Bert from Sesame Street running the whole thing. I mean, the script writes itself, doesn't it? As per the format of the show, Gordon sits down to sample some items off the menu. Notably, he asks if the crab cakes are made from fresh crab, and the waiter taking his order blatantly lies to him and says that it is. He also orders shrimp cocktail, which he does not expect to be fried, tilapia stuffed with lobster, and it tastes as gross as it looks. And then there's also this chopped salad that for some reason is shaped with a funnel.
Please don't make me eat any more of this shit.
And as we learn throughout the episode, Chef Mike tends to present his food in funky ways, like serving appetizers in martini glasses and stuff like that. Tom, the general manager, theorizes that this is because he knows the food sucks.
Suck? I can't believe you'd be so fucking polite.
But I also think part of it is it's the last spark of joy Mike can find in the kitchen. After eating, Gordon sits down with Dean and tells him exactly what he thinks about the food, and Dean does not appreciate it.
My 8-year-old daughter could cook better than that. Probably from anyone else, I would have threw the table over and threw them out.
Gordon then observes a full dinner service, and it goes, well, you'll see.
I don't know why the fries are looking remarkably shitty tonight.
In your business right now,
Yeah.
I wish that was the only problem, a fucking French fry.
Is it cold? Send it back.
Send it back, yeah. Excuse me.
Firstly, my personal BS detector started going off when the announcer said that this is the one night the restaurant is always busy. I mean, of course, I don't know for sure that that isn't true. Maybe Saturdays were great days for the old stone mill, but I'm also just a little too familiar with how reality shows work behind the scenes, so I have a strong feeling most, if not all, of these guests are producer plants. No one is impressed with their food, not even Sam from Glee's evil twin here, and a lot of dishes end up getting sent back. Mike is just so frustrated, and I feel really bad for the poor guy. He is just straight up not having a good time. It gets to the point that Mike starts sending out food that he's not happy with as a chef, and Gordon confronts him over this because, you know, if you know Gordon Ramsay, he is not a fan of chefs not cooking well. But when he realizes that Dean is the one pressuring him to send out the subpar food because he's more concerned with customers being served than customers being served well, Gordon turns on Dean.
Does it make you feel better if we rush this to the table?
No,
I'm trying to ask the chef about some form of standard, and you're just like, get the fucking shit out of
because
here.
the lady asked me 3 times for food.
After a lackluster service, Gordon tells the staff that they need to pay serious attention to whatever is going on with the food in this restaurant, and Dean, he's not happy. He and Gordon get into quite the argument.
You don't like the truth, Dean.
No, I do
one's
like the
told you.
truth.
No one's
I hear
burst
the
your
truth.
fucking bubble.
I heard the truth of my life more than you'll ever hear the truth. Of your life. Yeah, that's what you think.
You take pride in your hair, your trousers, your shirt, you're well groomed. I just want you to take pride in what the fuck you do in a business.
But Gordon is eventually able to get through to him, thankfully. The next day, Gordon goes to check out the competition in the area and discovers that there aren't any steakhouses nearby. There is, however, a successful butcher shop, which kind of gets the gears in his mind turning. Finally donning his chef whites, Gordon brings some prime rib into Mike's kitchen and tells him that this is what they're going to be doing now. He further changes things up in the kitchen by destroying Mike's salad funnels, and this is the happiest that we see Chef Mike all episode.
I laughed my ass off. When he burned those funnels with the creme brulee torch, I laughed. And I understood his point. There's nothing wrong with a simple salad. Don't try and make it anything that it's not.
Gordon informs the rest of the staff that he's going to be rebranding the Old Stone Mill as a steakhouse, and Mike is all for it, but Dean is afraid of losing what little business he already has and does not want to change a single thing. Gordon has his design team working overnight to make the restaurant look a little nicer, which, I mean, it was already looking pretty nice, so there really wasn't that much to do. But they do add a sign outside to attract passerby, and they rearrange the dining area to brighten it up a bit. And I feel like those couches are an interesting idea, but what do I know? Dean's wife, Barbara, is moved to tears by the redesign, and even Dean has to admit he's impressed.
But I'm man enough to admit that it's great.
Aside from these visual changes, Gordon has completely redone the menu, which means that the staff is going to have to adapt and do it quickly.
Okay, this is the big night. We put a plan together, and now they have to seriously execute it.
Yeah, I don't know why this scene of him changing his shirt while talking to the camera was necessary, but again, what do I know? The restaurant is fully booked that night, with even the mayor showing up for dinner. The night gets off to a rocky start, with hostess Jeannie losing her composure.
A couple of times I lost my composure.
And with Tom struggling to show off the new cuts of steak.
Done. I'm fucking done. I'm not comfortable with the changes so quick when I don't know if we're ready for it.
I feel especially bad for Tom here because he only had a couple hours to adapt to all of the changes that Gordon made, and he is really feeling the pressure. He starts getting all hot and sweaty, and is that Darth Sam from Glee again? Oh, yeah, it seems like they brought back a bunch of people from the night prior. Anyway, Tom is sweating like a stuck pig, so Gordon makes him freshen up before getting back out there. Service is going really slowly because apparently the ticket printer isn't working in the kitchen. Dean does not want to hear it, and he gets in a huge screaming match with Mike over it.
Where? I told you this. I don't have tickets for this.
Please help me.
I don't
Ribeye,
have
medium
the
rare.
ticket is what I'm saying.
But it fucking, this is the copy. You gotta have the other half.
It's been an hour and I got nothing.
Read the fucking ticket.
And, like, honestly, I was getting upset on Mike's behalf during this whole thing because, like, such a lack of communication. Oh, God, I can't imagine being in that kitchen. Fortunately, though, Gordon is able to get the restaurant staff to regroup, and dinner starts going much more smoothly. The food is getting out to their customers, and even more importantly, people are enjoying their food. It just goes to show how good of a chef Mike actually is when he's feeling the passion for it. The next day, Gordon and Dean meet under a tree for some reason. They have a really nice heart-to-heart about the struggles of failure, and thankfully Dean is able to open up and not let his New York temper get in the way of things.
Perhaps deep down I knew that I needed to change.
Dinner service goes way better the next day, and it's clear to see that Gordon Ramsay's influence has changed a lot of things at the old stone mill. Dean is calmer, Tom is feeling confident, and Michael is way happier in the kitchen. The episode ends with Gordon setting up one of those light projection signs. I'm gonna be super honest with you here. I have no idea what those are supposed to be called, so if anyone knows, please correct me. So anyway, that was Kitchen Nightmares. I can't thank you enough for being here with me. Please do the like, comment, subscribe things. You will be forever in my heart if you do so. So far, I've covered shows like Trading Spouses and Fear Factor, and I mean, if you like this one, you'll probably like my Super Nanny video. If you have any suggestions for future videos, though, make sure you leave them down below and maybe I'll cover them. Thank you so much for watching, and join me next time when I watch something else.